Well, that was disappointing. Well, everybody, welcome back. Calling all angels, glad to see you. Not necessarily the happiest of circumstances, but Angel City, we are covering you for this week. We are going over the previous match with Portland, as well as our upcoming match on May 2nd, hosting Utah Royals. But first, let's start with the matchup with Portland. So, starting off here, this is one we did live coverage of. I will allow that to be on this side, actually. I don't need to be switching back and forth. I've got the write-up in place for both. I'll keep them both to my side over here. There we are. Excellent. So, we will go over such things throughout this video. As I go over the recaps here, I've got the entire thing listed. I'm also got the ESPN one up just to fact check in case I need it here. But since I was live covering it, I still feel like I kind of had a pretty good grip on what went on here. And those who are watching will know it was a long, scoreless matchup for the first 75 minutes here. Very frustrating matchup overall. Because there were a lot of opportunities to score that just didn't materialize early on. So let's talk about a few of those. Starting off in that first half going, you had a lot of attempts by everyone there. Portland had one very early in the game where Sophia Wilson got a shot and ended up getting stuff by Angelina Anderson. Quite a few shots stopped by her early on. She was definitely more in form early in the game, and it went a little bit wrong the longer it went. Later on, almost about maybe a minute later, you had Evelyn Shore's attempt one, and got a good attempt, but it goes right over the corner. Few good opportunities, though, across that first half. Mayara got a shot that Mackenzie Arnold, the goalkeeper for Portland, had to save. A lot of solid efforts early on, but just could not get anything through. In fact, the only thing that really came up was Pietra Torden getting a yellow card off of a foul about 40 minutes into the match. So, in terms of the first half, pretty uneventful, but Angel City seemed to be playing a more solid game, at least at the beginning. As it continued, and we got into the second half, Portland started showing their form a little more, got more shots out of it, and what ended up coming through, as they got closer at the 66th minute, Caroline Calzada ends up with a yellow card as well. And then somehow both of them, Torden and Calzada, end up involved in the play that finally gets a goal. And this one was a solid effort here, 76th minute. Well-played ball. A little bit of a mistake in how the defensive line was covering it. But realistically, it was just a solid one there. I won't ding that one too much. I will say in terms of fouls, it is interesting that there were 2 yellow cards at all in this game because it was ugly there for a bit. It seemed like most physical fouls were not getting called. Certainly a game that if you are someone who prefers the game be non-contact, you weren't getting that here. If you're someone who likes contact, this was a fun one to watch. Everyone seemed to come through it still feeling pretty good, like no major injuries on the day. So, at least on that front, very good. Moving forward, though, as we continued on, we got to after the goal, we're at 1-0. Game stays very pressure-filled, and then as they get into injury time, Angel City looking for the equalizer, is not getting it to happen, and Sophia Wilson gets a goal. And this one actually was legitimately irritating because you get about halfway through the injury time at that point, and what happens is Anderson's coming up out of the box to play the ball, and you also have one of the backs there. If I recall correctly, and I don't have the thing in front of me, but is my recollection that during that defensive line, it was Sarah Gordon that was playing it. It could have been Evelyn Shores, though. But I know it was on the left side of the ball. So Anderson waves off the defender who was going to kick it, and she whiffs the ball. Not like completely like rolls under her, but the ball like shanks upward, only goes a few yards. And so while she's running back, Portland gets control and starts attacking and going forward. So since she's not perfectly set, they're able to make a cross pass and play to the weak side, and there goes the second goal. A lot of people in like the Angel City Red I saw were lambasting the keeper a little bit on this for a rough game. Honestly, this was the only really bad mistake I saw. And so while it is it was not the move I would have advised a keeper make there, especially when the defense had it already pretty much in control. I can also kind of see that she was trying to get the game to be a little more aggressive. She wanted another couple attacks. So it was a tough call to make in the moment. I will say I see the argument for what she was doing. And in any case, a few minutes later, Prisa Chilufya gets a goal with Sam's serving as the assist. So we end up with a 2-1 win. 2-1 win for Portland. They claim 3 points, which puts them in position to take top 2. Angel City still pinned at 9. And it's a frustrating experience because, and I put this down here because in terms of shots and time of possession, they were having a more successful game. And I do believe that time of possession and set of shots actually narrowed as it went. There were points where Angel City felt dominant in this game, and it just didn't materialize. Portland has been in this situation quite a bit, with where they had a 9 versus 11 disadvantage against Seattle and came away with the win. And now here, this seems like a team that right now is able to take advantage of opportunities. I do think that this is not the way that you necessarily want to be winning your matches, at least not long term, because as we saw with Gotham last year, if you're winning, if you're being on kind of like gamer moments there, you're going to eventually run out of steam, like Gotham has at the start of this season. They looked pretty rough, and I think that we're going to see a mid-season struggle for Portland where I think they drop in the table unless they make some personnel choices or things just happen to click. But right now, a lot of credit to them for this early going. They are certainly exceeding my expectations by a pretty healthy margin. Even seeing it here, I'm not sure yet that I'm buying into this team as an actual contender to claim the Shield or the Cup. I don't think they have 30 matches in them where they are going to do this. And even in the playoff, I don't think there's going to be a hot streak where they're going to be able to just push their way through an 18 playoff either. But I could be proven wrong on that. They've certainly shown their capability. So with that, I would like to move forward to previewing the next match, which is against Utah. So let's go over here what I've seen with Utah Royals so far. I will say this. Utah did genuinely surprise me with how well they stepped up in their previous match, coming away with a blowout win earlier against Seattle, and jumping ahead of Angel City. Actually, they are now sitting at 10 points, sitting very strong. And this is now a top 5 match between two teams that will be duking it out for a more definitive spot. In terms of the Royals this year, they definitely have a lot of solid people here. It's going to be specifically Mina Tanaka, Tatum Milazzo, and those are going to, and Lara Prasnikar, and they're going to be the main ones going in. You also do have to look at the people who have been setting it up, Palacios, Tejada. We saw a little bit of it when they were on live earlier this year. They're certainly a team worth paying attention to. I placed them lower in my echelons earlier, mostly because they did not seem to have that next gear, but we'll see. It's the win over Seattle was good. A win over Angel City would do wonders for their image there. On the other hand, Angel City has played 2 solid games in a row and come away with nothing. Their 2 losses, they managed to play fairly evenly with Orlando for a good while, cross-country trip right before the break, and simply ran out of time keeping up with a late goal. The game last week, as we just went over, they were outplaying Portland for large stretches. Wasn't enough to compete with the goals, but still a lot of high-end scores here. You still have Svein Jansdottir. You still have Giselle Thompson, Mayara. All of them still going to be going on the attack here. We are going to see probably some important action here on defense with Sams and with Gordon. I will say the midfield looked very shaky in the last game, and now that there's been a match, that needs to be repaired tomorrow. The passing did not look as crisp. There was a lot of difficulty with the 50-50 balls and being able to string possession together, which is why Angel City wasn't dominating for more of the time. And I think that actually might have been one of the bigger causes as well, just not looking as clean in the midfield. So, if I'm looking at this upcoming match, what do I see? I do see Angel City getting back on track. I am going to say this will be a 2-1 victory. I do expect Utah to give them some trouble. I might even give them the first goal. But I do think Angel City has been playing well enough that they haven't actually fallen out of favor in the upper half, and this should be a good way to regain their footing. We will see if I am right. I am certainly hoping so. I'm hoping all you Angel City fans that are in the LA area will be able to make it down to BMO Stadium. Keep the attendance climbing a little bit. They were around 17,000 last go around. I would like to see a more full stadium there for sure. But yeah, it's gonna be a good weekend, I'm hoping. Already got quite a few quality matches, but that is what's coming. In any case, I will talk to you all when we do the live of this match. I am hyped for this one at 5:45 on Ion. We will be following Angel City's exploits, their trials and tribulations, and I will see you there. Go Angels.